say hi to you yesterday. You know, it was such a. I said today when we were talking about it. It's like it's one of these great moments, but I have such a hard time because I have like all these people who I'd want to spend like an hour talking to, and I get 30 seconds, you know, because I got to bounce from one to the next. So all I got was really to give you guys a wave, but in any case, oh, this is very nice. This is really a treat. So, anyways, we're just you know kibitzing now. It's gonna go live in like a minute, and then the rest of the world, all the thousands of people watching at home, I'm sure. You know, well, we knew Howard and Ann were our first people up, so you know that is a big draw, at least in our part of the world. Hey, Mindy. Hey, Bonnie. Hey, Golds.
Hey.
Too. Good to see you guys. And you know, and don't worry, you can be as you know on as you want. You can turn stuff on, turn that stuff off. What I will do once we get started with our official program is I'm going to mute everybody but me and the Schwatzkys here. And actually, Howard and Ann, I'm going to make you guys co-host to make you feel even more special.
Oh, yeah.
You know? That's good. Okay. All right. I think we got some Klausners involved now. All right. We're really picking up steam. Very good. Hey, President Ron.
Hey.
Long time no see.
Yeah, we just ended our social justice meeting.
Yeah, I know, right? From one thing to the next.
Just reminding everybody that we all have links to click. We really need toys for the children. So the number one choice is let's make sure those kids get toys.
Well put.
You click the link and let's get the kids toys. They don't need them yet, but I think the drop-off's the 5th and the 12th.
Okay. That's really good to know.
Church.
At the Whalers Church, right? The drop-off at the church?
Yeah.
Okay.
Already
very good.
Picked us for the
Retreat.
for a family.
Right.
There's so many wonderful choices. Look at all 8 of them. They're absolutely really good choices.
Absolutely.
Do one for each night.
Beautiful.
And they shed a sweet light, you know, that's the whole idea. That's what the song was all about. It was all about the Social Justice Committee. That's precisely it. I'm pretty sure. All right. Well, okay, guys. So it's 6 o'clock. So I'm very honored to have our honored guests with us tonight, Howard and Ann Schwatzky. For everybody else, please don't be insulted. I have to mute you now, but we can unmute it a little bit for a second. But for our main event here, we're going to focus on Howard and Ann and really highlighting as we are right the lights in our community. Part of our idea this year was to really highlight some of the really physical, amazing people who embody that light. And I can't think of 2 better people to start us off than Howard and Ann. Howard and Ann, I think I accidentally muted you guys though. So could you unmute? Because otherwise they won't be able to hear you and talk about you. So Ann, just hit the unmute button there. Sorry. You know, I put on my Hanukkah PJs and I'm losing my skill set here. You know, it's
Okay.
All right, now there we go. Now we can see you guys. All right, good. So here's how this is going to go. First, let's just talk about the 2 of you wonderful people. Aside from just being genuinely dear friends, people who I adore, who are really, really family at this point, you have both in your own way served the temple for many years, long before Lou and I ever arrived in Sag Harbor. Ann, as the head of our cultural art program, I mean, really bringing some remarkable art to the halls of our temple, and many wonderful things to look forward to when we're back in our space. Yes. And being able to highlight both local artisans, Jewish artisans all over the world, really. And as I always said, very selfishly, I was the greatest beneficiary of your work because every single day it was my extended office. Right, every day I walked out of my office into my office, and what did I see? Nothing but beautiful art and really provoking art, right? Thought-provoking art, stuff that really helps us to connect in a really, I think, deep way to that part of our Jewish selves, which is really essential. And if we're talking about Hanukkah, right, we're standing right in front of us as you see this beautiful Chanukiah. This is an embodiment of Jewish art, and it's one of the things that really I think is core to our community. And it wouldn't happen really, Ann, without your dedicated hard work over so many years. So we thank you for that collectively. And I know you're very humble people, so I'm making you uncomfortable saying all this nice stuff about you, but it really is true. And I want everybody to know, both those on our Zoom and those watching at home. And of course, Howard, you know, he does a few things. He does a few things every once in a while. Aside from his official capacity as treasurer and as board member, and really, again, somebody who has steered the community both behind the scenes and from the front lines, as it were, for a very, very long time. Howard also is something that most people may not realize just how important it is, but this of all holidays is the perfect time to talk about his role as a shamash, as they say, right? That helper candle that you see there is small in comparison to what it is that Howard does and has done for so many years, each and every Shabbat, welcoming people into the community in every conceivable way, right? Little, big, small, all the ways, right, of showing his big heart. And you know, look, when I was starting out, if you think I came out of rabbinical school fully baked, you are incorrect. Okay, the only reason that I have any ability to do my work is because I've had a friend and a colleague and somebody really who has led me in so many ways. So Howard and Ann, really, just truly, as we're beginning, you know, again, thinking about gratitude, a round of applause for Howard and Ann Schwatsky for everything that you do. Okay, you guys don't have to look so sad about this, you know, you think you feel good. All right, now before we light the candles, before we get started here, I want to thank our administrator, Eileen Moskowitz, who put together for us each night some interesting Hanukkah facts, some known, some lesser known, and this one I picked specifically because I know we would all appreciate it. So here is Hanukkah fact number one, and to help with this, I'm going to share a piece of art. We'll see whether anybody can recognize it or knows what it is. This is Judith, okay? The story of Judith, which is actually an apocryphal work. Long story short, it means it's a piece of sacred Jewish literature that didn't quite make it into the Tanakh. And it's for lots of complicated reasons we won't get into tonight. But the Hanukkah fact for this evening is, believe it or not, our famous latkes that we all know to be made of potatoes. Before there were potatoes, believe it or not, it was cheese. Potatoes, you should know, only reached Europe in the 16th century following their discovery in the Americas. So what about latkes, right? We thought they were potatoes from all along. So Eileen teaches us, before there were latkes, the Hanukkah tradition was to eat cheese pancakes, or any dairy products for that matter. And this is in connection to the story of this brave woman who you see here casting a very large sword above the head. This woman named Judith, who is about to, it's a little grisly for Hanukkah, but about to take the head off of this gentleman right here, who is known as Holofernes, who was an Assyrian general. This is taking place in Judea in 600 BC, and it is said that in order to save the people, she happened to stop this general in his tracks by getting him a little verschnook on some wine and a little full on some salty cheese, so much so that he passed out. And while he was passed out, Judith took this famous sword up, and let's just say the rest is history. So apparently, long before we had latkes and long before we had potatoes, we celebrated the rather grisly death of Holofernes by eating fried cheese. I, for one, I'm not so sure I like to celebrate decapitations as relation to my holiday, but fried cheese, on the other hand, I think this is a tradition we ought to bring back. So everybody, you know, this is for 4.5 years spent in the University of Wisconsin. I have a certain bias towards cheese. Probably predates that, to be honest with you. But anybody else who's on board for frying cheese for the rest of the holiday, we've got our legitimacy here. So we thank Eileen for our first fun Hanukkah fact of the year. And now we're going to get ourselves ready to light this beautiful Chanukiah. So Howard and Ann, since I've been talking this whole time, anything that you would like to say to our community, to our friends, to our people, anything at all?
Well,
You'd like to invite.
we'd like to invite as many congregants to come to Shul Shabbos. And, you know, you will
To keep
almost
Howard company.
keep me company with Dan, and I guarantee an aliyah. So
It's true. And he wouldn't say it if it wasn't true. Boy, that's a great pitch, though. That's great. And really, truly, guys, thank you for doing this. Thank you for leading us off. So
our wish is next year we will be in Shul back again.
amen. And I think that wish is going to come true. Right? Nes Gadol Yeh Po. That's what you'd say in Hebrew, right? A great miracle will happen here. Although, as we know, miracles happen because of hard work of people, some of which who are on this call tonight. So amen to that. We will be back in that space. But, you know, in this crazy virtual world, this is pretty great second place for that for sure. So here's how this is going to work. Okay, in a second, when you're ready, Howard, you're going to light the shamash, not yourself, but that big candle right there. Okay, and as we talked about before, I'll do the singing. I welcome everybody who's at home. If you have your own Chanukiah, you are welcome to light alongside with us. Okay, and as I was explaining to Howard Ann, this is an important thing to know, just as a little, since I got you all in a captive audience, a little rabbinic teaching. The idea is, and you may have grown up doing this differently, in which case you continue to do it the way that you do it. But on the first night of Hanukkah, we do 3 blessings because we add the Shechianu. But on the rest of the nights, we do 2. Okay, and the first one we do, and then we start the lighting. And the reason why is, if you think about it, every other blessing that we do, let's take the example of the Kiddush, right? You remember me in shul, I'm holding the Kiddush cup, we sing the Kiddush, and then I drink, right? I don't drink it and then say the blessing. So the idea is that when we say brachot, we're meant to say the blessing and then immediately do whatever it is that we said that we were going to do. So the first blessing is the Asher Kichanu Mitzvotav Tzivanu, right? All mitilat, right? All is we're lighting the Hanukkah candles. And then the second one is thanking God for the miracles that were done as a result of, okay? So as we talked about, since Zoom doesn't really allow for singing in both directions, I'll do the singing, you guys do the lighting, and everybody does the amen. Sounds good? Good. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Sha'asa nisim lavoteinu bayamim hahem b'zman hazeh. Amen. Yasher koach, Howard and Ann. Thank you guys for doing this.
Thank you.
And while we're going to turn off the streaming piece of this for everybody else, any of our members who are still on the Zoom, you want to kibitz for a couple minutes, you can all unmute. And we'll let everybody just schmooze a little bit.